ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः।
Dear friends, welcome back to the study of the Bhagavad Gita, and we were studying the third chapter, and we have studied the four very important shlokas of the beginning of the third chapter. The third chapter has been titled or nomenclatured as Chapter on Karma Yoga. This is how it has been nomenclatured. And what have we read in these four shlokas? These are the four shlokas on which the foundation and the rationality of the concept of Karma Yoga stands. He says, Sri Krishna says, in answer to Arjuna's question, what was Arjuna's question? Arjuna's question was, you have praised sky high the concept of a Sthita Pragya Brahmi Sthiti at the end of the second chapter, that they are the best. And also, you have told me to carry on with my day-to-day performance of duties of my life. My duty of life, as of now, is to carry on with this warfare, which is nothing else but killing and murdering. On the other hand, you say that Brahmi Sthiti Avastha or Sthita Pragya's Avastha, the state of one who has known Brahman, or one who is absolutely, I would say, ensconced, unshakably placed on the concept of Brahman, they are the best. What type of a friend, philosopher and guide you are to me, that you are forcing me to this so-called heinous work of killing and murdering in this warfare and preserving the best path for somebody else? What type of a friend you are? That was an indirect aspersion. Sri Krishna understood that Arjuna himself is confused because he has not educated himself to understand the meaning and the difference between the two words karma bhoga and karma yoga. Suffering or enjoying the results of your egocentric activity and converting your life into an endless worship of the divine, a reverential, affectionate, emotional interaction with the awareness of presence of the divine. This is Karma Yoga. So, Sri Krishna immediately understood why Arjuna is asking such a pertinent question. What type of a friend are you? You are forcing me to this horrendous duty of warfare and keeping for somebody else the stage of Brahmi Sthiti or Sthita Pragya. What type of a friend are you? Be very normal human. Please don't think you are studying a very high-sounding philosophy. It is based on absolute common sense, absolute rationality. It appeals to the meanest of the intelligent. that what is happening here. So, Sri Krishna, making Arjuna's question as our question, he speaks to Arjuna to teach us. So dear, shloka number 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th, we have read it according to the text. I would like to spend a little more time on these 4 shlokas based on what Sri Ramakrishna has to say about building a spiritual life in the modern world. And his spokesman, Swami Vivekananda, he gave you a detail of how to go about it. Karma bhoga, how could it be converted into karma yoga? And without going through the performance of your duties, you cannot achieve that highest level of Nishkama Siddhi, or being totally unattached to the world, poised in the excellence, majesty, magnificence of your own true original nature. How could that be possible? Swami Vivekananda, based on the scriptures and interpretation made by his Guru, Sri Ramakrishna, has written books on it. Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, Raja Yoga. What does it mean? It means a human being has 4 extraordinary faculties. What are those 4 faculties? Rationality. I am a person with reasonable, rational, intellectual assessment. This is what I am. Good enough. That's a special faculty of a human. I am emotional. I have the capacity to love, to sympathize, to empathize, to do whatever is required to do to help others. As far as helping myself is concerned, I can do that. At the same time, I can extend my feeling towards all of you, and I can help you, serve you. Emotionality. Ingenuity is described in Sanskrit as kartum, akartum, annatha kartum, ba shakyam. What does it mean? I tell you, dear friend, will you kindly do me a favor? Do this for me and do it this way. Do me a favor, do it for me, and do it in this way. This is my request to you. You have every right to say in return, yes, I will oblige you, I will do it for you, but I will do it for you not the way you tell me. I will do it the way I think is proper to do so. You have that freedom. Freedom of doing the way you want to do it in spite of being told to do otherwise. This is human ingenuity. Kartum, you can say yes to me. Akartum, you can say no to me. And you have the freedom of doing it in your own way. Annatha kartum. Do it in another manner. All these 3 freedoms are with you. That is known as human ingenuity. That is karma yoga. I can live in this world whichever way I want to. You may tell me, I may agree with your conclusion, How do I go about it is my freedom of choice. Karma yoga is based on it. And the fourth is control of your mind and your willpower, known as Raja Yoga, Mana Sanjama Yoga. That is, you have a total control on the movement and the activities of your mind. These are the four important aspects of human personality. And these four aspects have been taken into consideration, and Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam, what does it mean? A person who is extremely analytical, Sankhyate anena iti sankhya. Sankhyate means he has the capacity to analyze in a hair-splitting manner, in a threadbare manner, the facts of life that comes to him. He analyzes. And what is the basis of analysis? Oh dear me, this world is constantly in a motion. It is moving, it is changing. Nothing is eternal, real in this world. It is here now, next moment it has changed. It's a constant flow of change. So what do I hold on to this world? There's only one thing that I hold on to, is the eternal reality behind this changing, transitory world. Jnana Yoga. I am analytical and I make use of my brain and brain alone, intellect and intellect alone, and I am guided by the conclusion of my intellectual convictions. Emotion has no part to play, Karma Yoga has no part to play, and Raja Yoga has a part to play because I have to control my mind. That is Jnana Yoga. You are highlighting one aspect of your faculty, Jnana Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is the same. You are highlighting one aspect of your faculty, that is capacity of being emotionally involved without being guided by rationality. You are impulsively emotional. In Karma Yoga, what is the excellence of Karma Yoga? Karma Yoga says, convert your flow of life, whatever you do. You have to do something. Life and activity are synonymous. There's no escape from that. As long as you are living, I am doing something. And when you say I am doing nothing, it means you are doing something which you call by the word nothing. You are doing something known as nothing. You are doing. I am doing nothing. The concept of I am doing is always there. Now, he says, try to see the divine everywhere. Rationality, Sankhya, analytical capacity has told you the eternal existence is to be found everywhere in the world. Whatever I see, it is. It is. It is. It is. Isness is nothing else but an expression of eternal existence. So, In Karma Yoga, to be a Karma Yogi, I use my rationality. The whole universe is nothing else but manifestation of the divine. Upanishads say, Tat Srishtva Tadeva Anupravishat Ekoham Bahusyam Prajaya. I am alone. I would like to be many to play with myself, enjoy myself, my company in diverse forms. I create. Having created this universe, I saturate this universe with my being. So rationally, I am convinced everywhere there is a divine. And through Karma Yoga, my flow of life is by concentrated effort, Raja Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. All three together makes my Karma Yoga successful. I intellectually see the divine everywhere. Emotionally, I am respectfully, reverentially involved with the divine. My life is an endless flow of activity. All that activity is offered to the divine. And how do I do it? Total control on my personality, my mind, my chitta. So Karma Yoga needs the help of other three to be successful. Jnana Yoga needs the help of Raja Yoga to be successful. Bhakti Yoga needs the help of Raja Yoga to be successful. Whereas Karma Yoga integrates all the four to be successful. And what are those four? Four faculties of a human personality. So the human grows in totality, integrated growth of all his faculties, whereas the others are partial growth of the faculty. Please try to understand these. Otherwise, the concept of Karma Yoga will remain a word. You will have a nodding experience. Phonetically, you will be well informed about what Karma Yoga is, but the spirit of Karma Yoga will not be known to you. Today's effort is to make it clear what is Karma Yoga. And let us try to understand through what Sri Ramakrishna said and what his mouthpiece, Swami Vivekananda, said about Karma Yoga. With relation to what Sri Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, without contradicting, without confusing, without conflicting, harmonizing the concept of Karma Yoga as we find in the Gita and the concept of Karma Yoga as it is to be practiced in the present age. Now let me see. Sri Ramakrishna says, I will quote him verbatim in Bengali, then I'll translate it to you. Sri Ramakrishna says, Kali Juge Jnanamisra Bhakti Prashasta. In the modern world, Jnana Mishra Bhakti, emotion blended with rationality. Not only emotion blended with rationality. That is, a horse running fast, you manage the motion of the horse with your bridles. With the bridles. So you manage your emotion with your rationality. That is prashasta. Prashasta means is readily, easily doable in this world. Why does he say so? It is not easy to perform all the yagas and yajnas and homams and purashcharana, brata, parayana. That was very common in that age when we lived in the forest. That is not easy. But what is easy? Now let us see what Swami Vivekananda has to say. He says, life is an unending chain of flow of experiences, or life is an unending flow of activity. I am living, I am breathing, that is an activity. And when I am dead, when the doctors clinically assess me and declares encephalograph says the brain is dead, cardiomap says the heart is dead. What is dead? It is not functioning. So you are clinically dead. Activity not there is equal to death. So activity and death, activity and life are synonymous. Activity and life are synonymous. Life has to flow. So what do I do? Intellectually, you know, this whole world is a manifestation of the divine. My life is an interaction with this world. Nothing but it. Either I am doing things myself, I am acting within myself, active within myself, in meditation, in studies, in reading, in playing music, I am busy, or I am interacting with the world. What is this world? This world, according to rationality, is a manifestation of the divine. I want to be one with the divine. So let me emotionally interact with the awareness of presence of the divine every moment of my life. For that matter, my mind should not be roam around. My mind should be a well-trained pet dog. The mind is always fixed to this concept. I am living because I am living with the awareness of the divine. And my whole life is a flow of awareness of the divine, and I am interacting with the manifestation of the divine. This is Karma Yoga. Now, what is Sri Krishna saying here? I go back to the 4th shloka again, because the 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th, these 4 shlokas, along with this concept of Karma Yoga, that is, your life is nothing else but an endless, uninterrupted interaction with the awareness of presence of the divine within you and outside. This is Karma Yoga. Now let us see Sri Krishna, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, he is avatar, Purushottama. So what does he say? He says, look, my dear Arjuna, karmana anarambhat, na karmana anarambhat, nishkarmam purusha ashnute. Let us get the literal meaning. Karmanam anarambhat. without performing the duties of your life, non-arambat, without performing the flow of duty of your life, you cannot achieve that state known as Nishkama Karma or Nishkarma Siddhi. Abstract noun. You can't. What does he mean? What is Nishkama Karma? He has used this word, that Nishkarma Nashnute Nishkama Karmasya Bhava Nishkarmaka. That is the essence of not doing anything. What does it mean? Therefore, we need to understand through the vision of Swamiji and Sri Ramakrishna. Let us explain it once again very clearly, simply, thoroughly. Nishkama Karma means work being done without any worldly attachment or worldly expectation. Now, let us leave this philosophical definition apart. Let us look at ourselves as of now. Let us look at ourselves as of now. I am trying to explain to you through the study of the Bhagavad Gita the concept of Karma Yoga. It's a fact of life. As I am constituted now, as my force of habit of life and living is, without my knowledge, without my being conscious of it, without my being aware of it, I am, while acting, while teaching, I am building up within myself an expectation that this hard work that I am putting in will be rewarded by you come and telling me, Swamiji, we understood it. Oh, it was out of the world. We understood it. That is what the normal activity of all of us. It is sakama karma. Work being done with an expectation. And we are habituated that way. Habit has such a hold on us, we are slave of that habit. Expectation of the results of my hard work. What happens, dear? After the class is over, someone comes to me and tells me, oh, it was wonderful. My expectation is fulfilled and I hit the ceiling. I'm in cloud 9. I'm happy. Why? My expectation has been fulfilled. And some one of you, born honest, absolutely true to yourself, you come with great hesitancy and with great softness you say, Swami, you tried your very best. I did not understand. You are honest, you are truthful, you are humble, you are modest, you are respectful. I can't take any offense from you. But your statement means my expectation that you will understand is not fulfilled. Automatically, I am disappointed, I am distressed, I am sad, I drop in mud with a thud. What have I done to myself? Being a victim of my old habit of thinking that my activity should give me these results. When the results are available, I'm in cloud 9. When the results are not available, I drop on mud with a thud. I have made myself a victim of your and your opinion. You say good, I am happy. You said I don't understand, and I am unhappy. I am bartering away my poise, my serenity, my equanimity, my sobriety at your doorstep. You say good, I am happy. You say bad, I am unhappy. What have I done to myself? I have made myself a slave to your opinion. This is the result of Nishkama Karma. Please understand it once for all thoroughly well. Your life will change its colors if you understand this. This is what happens to all of us as of today because we are constituted in this manner, slave of our past habit of thinking, expecting expectations. This is the result of Nishkama Karma. What is Nishkama Karma? Nishkama means without any expectation you perform your duties of life. Immediately you will come and tell me, Swami, it's a contradiction in terms. Unmotivated activity without any incentive is not possible. There has to be a motivation, there has to be an incentive. Without any cause, effect is not possible. Karya Karana Sambandha, the axiomatic law of cause and its effect. If you don't have a motivation, you can't work. So you say Nishkama Karma literally means you should not have any motivation. Now, dears, open your ears and attend properly. Here Nishkama means not with that worldly expectation. Then what is it? Not to expect worldly return when I do my activity. Not to be motivated by worldly motivation is a motivation. Let me repeat again. It may be a playing with words, but please understand the meaning of these words. I am today motivated by expectation of the results of my activity. I am motivated. Nishkama Karma literally means please do not be motivated by your expectations. How can I work without any motivation? It is a contradiction in term. There has to be motivation. Now listen carefully. There is a motivation. Not to be motivated by the expectations. I will not be motivated by expectation. I will perform my duties of life for duty's sake. It is a little tasteless, insipid, a bit harsh. So what the teacher says, why don't you look at it this way? You are not supposed to be motivated by your worldly expectation. Good enough. Now listen to me. What is your new motivation? New motivation is, I will be a perfectionist. I will do things thoroughly, correctly, perfectly, excellently. I will put my heart and soul into it without any scope of any mistake. Mind you, you are putting your heart and soul into it. What is it? Correctness, thoroughness, perfection, excellence. And add a little salt and pepper. Add a little sauce and spice. Let it not be absolutely dreary. What is that salt and pepper? What is that spice and salt? I am doing it correctly, perfectly, thoroughly, excellently, because God is everywhere and I offer my activities to God. That is my motivation. Whatever I do, everything of my life is dedicated to God. Work and worship. You convert your flow of life, which is nothing else but an endless chain of activity. You bring in the awareness of presence of God and you offer it to Him with all your emotion. Jnana, Mishra, Bhakti. Emotional approach duly blended with rationality. Rationality has given you the intellectual conviction, rock solid, crystal clear, intellectual conviction. What? God is everywhere. First lesson. And my life is a flow of activity. Whatever I do, I am a pursuer of thoroughness, correctness, perfection, and excellence. Why? Very simple. Do you offer dirty things to God? Do you offer a flower which has fallen from your hand to the floor? You lift it up and give it to God? You say, no, it is impure. A torn petal of a flower, it is impure. It must be perfect. You don't give stale food as an offering to God. You don't offer dirty water to God. Why? It must be perfect. These are materials. Why don't you, in totality, offer yourself to God? And how do you offer self? Your life can't stop flowing. Your life has to flow. So convert the flow of life into an endless worship of the divine. And remember the distinction between the concept of work and concept of worship. Work is physical involvement is working. Emotional involvement is working, an activity. Rational involvement is an activity. And I am doing, I am performing is an activity. 4 types of involvement is the cause of work. Work can be defined as I am physically involved, emotionally involved, rationally involved, and I am egoistically involved. This is the concept of work. What is the concept of worship, dear? Let us see what is worship. You come to a place where all of you agree it is a temple, it is a shrine, God resides here. That's an axiomatic truth. God resides here. What do? You light up an incense stick and then you show it to God in a different manner. It's a physical activity. Emotional activity is, you know rationally it is a picture, but you also know the symbol symbolizes something else. This is a symbol of a human form. What does it mean? God was born in this human form. This human form is God's form because I don't see God, I see God in this symbol. Rationally you are working to work out this formula. Physical activity, emotional activity, rational activity, and you are worshipping. Why are you not saying I'm working? Because awareness of presence is an extra dimension which you have added to it. The 4 activities are common. Highest common factor is physical activity, emotional activity, rational activity, egoistic activity. Here, a 5th dimension is coming in, a 5th type of activity. What is that? Awareness of presence of the divine in this picture. As soon as that awareness of presence of the divine comes in, your concept of work is replaced by concept of worship. As simple as that. Now, be rational. God has created this whole universe. And He says, I have created it because I don't want to be lonely. I would like to play with myself in million diverse forms. And having created it, tat srishtva, having created it, tat eva anupravisat. Having created it, He permeated the whole creation, saturated the whole creation, percolated the whole creation by His own being, His spirit. There's not a speck of space, not a dot of time where God is not. That rationality. So, we have to educate ourselves without disrespecting the tradition to help people to see God in a particular place. I can re-educate myself to see God everywhere. And my flow of life is activity. I add up the 5th dimension, awareness of presence of God. So my whole life is no more of work, It is a worshipful interaction with the awareness of presence of God. Your expectation has disappeared. This stage where you are always aware of God, and be very careful. The old habit of expectation may stick to you. Therefore, be very sure. And one of the avatars, Acharya Shankara, wants you, tatra, in that level of awareness, when you are converting your life into an endless worshipful interaction with the divine. At that state, Ishvara api me tushatu iti sangam tvakta. Please pardon me, but let me explain to you. Tatra, at that stage of awareness, when you have got rid of worldly expectations, sakama, with expectation, has disappeared. What has taken place? Awareness of the presence of the divine in you and interaction with the divine. At that stage, Ishvara api, even God, Ishvara api, even God, me tushatu, be pleased with me, iti sangam tvakta. Please, for heaven's sake, keep a watchful eye on yourself. Don't expect God should be happy with you. That's an expectation. Sakama. Don't expect that. This is Nishkama for you. To be aware of the presence of the divine and converting your life into an endless interaction with the divine, and be very sure old habits die hard. It's a saying in English, old habits die hard. Be very aware, very much aware. Have an hawk's eye on yourself. Let me not expect I am doing such and such thing. God should be pleased with me. Don't have that expectation. Then it is no more Nishkam, it is Sakam. It is with desire again. Now in this first line of the shloka, na karmanam anarambhat, without starting your life as a Sakama Karmi, you will not be able to reach the state of a Nishkama Karmi because you will not be able to compare. To think I am a Nishkama Karmi is nothing else but a height of self-deception. You have to put yourself in fire, testing every moment whether you are Sakam or you are Niskam. And he says, the taste of pudding lies in eating. So, what is the methodology? Let us go back to Swami Vivekananda. He says, Sammukhe bahurupe sammukhe tomar chari kotha khujiche ishwar jibe prem kore jei jon সেই জন সেবিছে ঈশ্বর. It's in Bengali a poem, Shakhar Prati, to my dear friend. That is the caption of the poetry. Swamiji unburdens himself. What does he say? In thousand different forms, you see God roaming around you in all four corners of the world. And you want to see God somewhere in a small place. Why make that mistake? Why don't you educate yourself to see God everywhere and serve everybody as a symbol of God. Karma Yoga. This is how you get rid of Nishkama Karma, and when by repetitive performance, Abhyasa Balat, the force of habit, you will fail once, you will fail twice, you will fail 100 times. Failures are but pillars of success if you continue to drive at it. A time will come which becomes spontaneous with you. That's the end of Karma Yoga. With that, you have prepared the base for Nishkama Siddhi, for being Sthita Prajna or Brahmi Sthiti. That is the stage. Let us stop there. That other stage of Brahmi Sthiti and Sthita Prajna will come later on, and I'll discuss it then. So let us read this shloka and remember, without starting performing the duties of life as of now as a Sakama Karmi, there is no chance, no possibility, there is no eventuality of your being a Nishkama Karmi. Why? If you say doing nothing, I am a Nishkama Karmi, you are doing something which is nothing, and you expect the world will adore you with a Nishkama Karma. That's what you expect. Utter stupidity, height of self-deception. Therefore, go through that test of fire. And each time you find I am Sakami, you convert yourself, thoroughness, perfection, correctness, excellence, offering to God, who is everywhere. Karmanam anarambhat purusha naishkarmam na ashnute. This is the meaning. And on the other hand, without managing your mind, without getting rid of all this kamana and vasana, you utter a few mantras, wear a girva, you have nothing inside you, you are absolutely a worldly creature, and you say, I am a sannyasi. Another position of self-deception. Sri Krishna is warning you, don't cheat on yourself. Be honest, sincere, fair on yourself. Na sannyasanateva siddhim samadhigacchati. That you are a Brahmagya, you are an Atmagya, you are poised on Brahman. All that, I am Atma Brahma. You will never achieve that. You are in the height of self-deception and delusion. Without performing your duties as of now, start these corrective procedures. With these corrective procedures, you become Nishkarma Siddha, Nishkama Karmi. And then the last jump will be to be one with your true original nature. Don't deceive yourself, don't cheat yourself. This is how the fourth shloka, though I have been repetitive, but it is elucidative. You now understand more better what it actually means. This is the language that Sri Krishna used. And this is the language Sri Ramakrishna used several centuries later, the same avatar, in different circumstances, in different point of time, says the same thing in a language that people at that time understands, people at this time understands. Kolite, Kolijuge, in the present age, Jnana Mishra Bhakti Prashasta is a avenue, is a highway to reach the spiritual goal. What is that? Be emotionally involved in the awareness of presence of God and rationally remember there's not a speck of space or an iota of time where God is not. He is everywhere. Convert your flow of life into an endless worship of the divine. Niyatam Guru Karmatvam. That is what he says in the 8th shloka. So, dears, let us stop here. Let us not count the number of shlokas. Let us concentrate on those character-building ideas. Those character-building ideas will help us to manifest the divinity already within us. May it ever be so, is my endless prayer. Thank you.
Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.